So here we are with episode 2 of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power season 2. Last episode, Bo has found out that Entrapta is still alive and they left her behind. So we'll just have to see what comes from that news. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. I do have my full length up on Patreon and early access on the YouTube memberships. Other than that, let us get started. Oh. She's preparing another... Ours. Yeah, because that's Entrapta's. She's lost in the fucking castle. Oh, she's just got a GPS on that thing? That's, some of the Entrapta's workers who was just like, yeah, we didn't really sign up for this. They did drive everybody out. So Drill has been taken over. Where's the Whispering Woods? These are the new techs. They've made more already? Just swiping at its feet. Oh shit, dude. Oh, a grappling gun. You know how powerful She-Ra would be if she could just turn that thing into a machine gun? With your steed. Oh, so that's why he feels a connection to her? Damn. And that's how he can get in there? Oh, where'd that wind coming from? Nah, Entrapta's part of this. Rip. No, it does matter. Well, I suppose the idea of like at least getting her dead body back, but also like it would have been difficult to go back to. It's not gonna be good when you fucking come over there and you're like, oh, you're being forced to do this, aren't you? We gotta do this. We gotta do this by ourselves.
Is something wrong?
Well, yeah, you kind of froze there for a second.
That man just did the Jacqueline, the Jacko Fox, whatever that pose was. Jack-o'-lantern? Wah! Wah! Okay, Jesus Christ. Damn, dude, how'd they just fucking sneak in there? Oh, there's Catra. Style, you're scratching her bum. Oh, Kyle. No, they're not. Why did you just come out? I mean, she's angry, so. Damn, really using a little bit too much of her power. Ah, just use your bow. Swipe at her. Get them. There's nobody else in the premises. That's all. There's the same portrait in that one hallway. Yeah, you can't fucking shoot with a... Oh! Well, we've just gotten the leader, it looks like.
Perhaps if we were to combine our efforts, my intuitive powers might increase.
No, that's okay. I just have to keep looking.
Come on now, you gotta rely on Swiftwind, that's the whole point.
But I'm sensing something's bothering you.
I'm just really focused on fixing Light Hope.
No, you're troubled about something else. As your magnificent steed, I am a
Stay out of my head, please.
I'm not in your head. You're just very bad at hiding your feelings. Is it about
Goddamn, dude, he just shoves his horn right through her hair.
Glimmer? Catra? The Horde?
He just sees everything as horses.
Well, I'm gonna go do a few loop-de-loops.
Wee! Oh, looking up. It's all just floating.
We took a hostage. We're supposed to be the good guys. eyes.
Honestly, you should probably tie her legs too while you're at it.
Torture us.
Torture us?
Because
Oh, yeah, because she's...
Listen, we didn't mean for this to happen.
she's just...
We know you have her. Where is she? What are you doing to her?
Glimmer.
Oh, Entrapta. You mean
The princess you left behind.
Whoops. Guess I can't walk unless you want to untie.
Yeah, just tie her legs.
Oh, just teleport.
Glimmer, can I talk to you real quick?
Guys, she literally has legs.
You don't want to run out of power and get us stuck out here, especially with her.
Fine.
Yeah, she's got intuitive cat ears out here. She heard it all.
Hey, are you okay?
Like you care.
We do, actually.
You princess types always have to be the bleeding hearts, don't you? Everything is about the power of friendship.
Well, that's what defeated you in the siege, isn't it?
You two grew up together, right? What was she like as a kid?
Oh.
Glimmer and I have known each other.
Wow, you two must be really close. Sounds like Glimmer would do anything.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Good to know.
Yeah. And then she's gonna make her waist. This is why I said fucking tie everything, literally. Just wrap her whole body up.
You're all in one piece. Can't say the same for Entrapta.
Just fucking, yeah, angering her.
Are you okay?
What's wrong?
Playing them like a fiddle.
All that magic. Put more ropes on her.
Oh, put on the GPS, since it's gonna lead you right over to Bright Moon.
Hurry up and find Catra. Touched a hair on her head. I didn't even know.
I don't even know. Just lifting that lizard boy up.
If all this right to her, Catra, you beautiful genius.
Just... That's a thin-ass sword. She is.
I'm just saying, everything's better with loop-de-loop.
Might as well take him up. Tell you what, why not take him up on his offer for a little loop-de-loop? Wow, can't even pull the rocks. They're just stuck in place in the air. Oh no, it's just flying away from her. See, look, this is exactly what they should... Oh no, this is what they're doing now? What? They're just pulling her like that? You guys really should have done this, like, earlier. But also, still, you need to tie her...
Torturing Entrapta every day. She didn't run away from the Horde. She ran away from you.
Ooh, pushing her buttons. Oh, here comes... Catra can just jump over. Brute forcing this. Come on now.
What are you doing?
He's-
He's fine. We want to make a trade. We'll release Catra.
I don't know if you have... I don't know if you have...
You release me right now. Finish Entrapta off once and for all.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think you guys have power to, like, do this negotiation. What do I do?
If you don't hear from us in 30 seconds,
Kyle's over here like, what? Take Entrapta out! Emily's just fighting the other bot.
easy there, big gal. She's not gonna try anything. They're noble rebels, after
They're
all.
noble.
Play by the rules.
They're not gonna do anything, unlike us, villains.
This isn't fair. After everything she's done, we're supposed to just let her
There were so many other ways that you could have done things to her without, like, going down to her levels. That's all I'm gonna say. We're not them. We're not the bad guys. We're not vigilantes. We're not anti-heroes. We're the good guys.
And it's why you're never going to win.
Well, I mean, you still haven't taken...
Seriously, just then? Kyle isn't available at the moment.
He's just kidding.
Don't worry, this was just a prototype. The next model will be much, much bigger.
She's working.
What's going on?
Hi, Bo. What are you doing there? Just hang on, Entrapta. We're going to
Ah, she's having a great time. Yeah.
rescue me from what? But all of my stuff is here now, so probably
I'm finished moving.
Catra, are you on the Horde side now?
They give me a lot of good shit.
on the side of science.
Science.
I am living at the Fright Stone now, and the Horde is supplying me with
So I technically am working with the Horde.
Did I forget to mention that? But don't worry about me.
I love it here.
I'm getting closer every day to unraveling
Mystery of Etheria.
Hacking the Black Garnet is just the first step.
She's the one who did it.
So much for the power of friendship.
I mean, again, still, the power of friendship is what stopped the siege, Catra. Uh-oh. Just really coming in to whack Catra in the face. Probably didn't get the...
Light Hope is the only one who can teach me, and she's broken.
So he needs the Mara thing.
How could I not? She ruined
Have you tried talking to the old woman? Raz?
I'm just so excited to be your steed. Guess I just got carried away.
A little too excitable.
me before I accidentally
You gave him literally a consciousness and freedom.
been able to live out the rest of your days carefree.
No, he would have been in the...
Posture and
No, he would have been in the...
Adora, I wouldn't trade my voice and my wings for anything. I've got the chance to change the world now, to make it better than when I found it. I can't imagine ever going back. Can you?
Mmm. Oh, look at him hugging. Yeah, yeah, of course, it's Catra, so...
I'm not as naive as you think.
Oh.
Turns out I saved a little magic.
The one thing that Scorpia doesn't want the most. Oh, there you go, the tap. Wouldn't you guys have to, like, get out of here? Because, like, unless they're just, like, gonna be in the tower once it builds up. Oh, her hair is all frizzled. Yeah, okay. Loop-the-loops. Look at that, having fun with the loop-the-loops. Very nice, the watchtower's back on.
Wow.
Not a bad team. Looks like we're getting the hang of this.
She's just been frozen.
Back to operation. My sensors indicate they fixed it.
Good. Good. But she's working with the enemy. A lot. Oh, hopefully, you know, Adora's ready with her power, but not really. Still got a lot more training to do. But they've got the first watchtower. The fog of war has been taken out. Has been removed, I mean. it was the Ubisoft tower, you know. But okay, that was a nice follow-up episode, especially with them finding out that that Entrapta is actually just here because she works for the she works for the enemies now. Anyways, I am still not going to be writing notes, but hopefully I will be next time. But we're going to get right back to the center. Alright, so that was episode 2 of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power Season 2. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was, well, I think I said it, I thought it was a nice follow-up episode after learning that Entrapta is still alive and is working for the Horde, although Bo had initially thought that she was being taken prisoner and, you know, maybe she was being tortured and all that, but they find out the real truth towards the end that Entrapta loves being with the Horde, and you know, the Horde is supplying her with all this great item. She's on the side of science, so it doesn't matter whose side she's really on as long as they are supplying her with the stuff that she needs. At that point, Entrapta is pretty much a mercenary but instead of getting paid in cash, you have to pay her in technology. And if that is the case for Entrapta, it's gonna be really hard for the Bright Moon rebels to be able to negotiate with Entrapta because, well, what are the sort of technology that Bright Moon and everybody else has, other than the fact that they're more magical based, while the Horde is much more scientific based. I suppose the only way that the Bright Moon rebels, the people of Bright Moon, can get Entrapta back onto their side is to offer her unlimited amount of First Ones tech, because that's the most advanced thing ever, and with She-Ra there, you know, they would be able to get them a lot easier. But if they have all these machines out to scour for first one techs, and eventually, if Entrapta figures all these things out, she would probably be able to have all these machines scavenge all of the first one tech on all of the robots' own, right? And so it really, all Entrapta needs is just more time and more supplies and all that. I don't know if there would be a good negotiation with Entrapta, but as what we hear from Catra, where Catra's just like, oh, the power of friendship, so much for that, huh? Famous last words, Catra. And then we have the second storyline, which is between Adora and Swiftwind. Get to see more Swiftwind, so that's always nice. And we know that Swiftwind has a connection to Adora, and that's why he knows where she is at all time, and he's able to just come into the Watcher Tower, I believe. He's just able to just go in it. I mean, kind of like how he was the one who entered into the room that Adora was in when nobody else could, or he's able to enter into Adora's mind during that time, right? So we know that he has that big connection, and the whole thing with that storyline was that She-Ra or Adora wanted to do things on her own, and she felt like she doesn't really need to have to learn something new, which is to forge the bond between her and Swiftwind. She wanted to get through the first thing first, which is to learn how to control her power. Not realizing that maybe by forging her bond with Swiftwind, it would help her control her power. Well, maybe she figured that out towards the end, but she's got a big news to hear in the next episode. But heading into the beginning, we see the takeover of Drill. I would presume it was pretty easy, considering that Entrapta was already on their side, but they did force out all of the city's forces, so all of the people who, they were in Drill, but they didn't realize that Entrapta is, like, now part of the Horde. So they're just like, oh shit, the Horde's coming. Gotta get out of here. The scene moves on over to Adora and her training stage. And we've got Light Hope, who says that, yeah, you're improving, but your attack would have been 57% more effective if you are on Swiftwind. And it's what I was talking about, and how Adora wants to focus on her controlling her power first before doing anything else, especially riding a horse and all that, Not her style, maybe. Although I do, now that I think about it, I do agree with Light Hope. If she can just get on a swift horse, like Swiftwind, she can just go about and just slashing people, and like also be able to dodge cannon beams at the same time. Adora might be a little slow for Catra, but hey, if Swiftwind is in there, I mean, Catra would probably still catch a ride, but hey, your attack would be 57% more effective. After that, we've got Bo and Glimmer talking about Entrapta, and here we have their misconception that Entrapta is actually being tortured here. She's been made prisoner because that's just how the Horde is. They take in prisoners. There's the bad guy and all that. Which I also can kind of see in the way that Catra talks about it to Scorpia or to Entrapta, in the fact that, oh, these princesses, they make it look like they're so good and benevolent or something, but they look down on people who aren't like them. That goes for Scorpia, and that goes for Entrapta, in the way that Catra says it, right? And with Entrapta not really being a magical princess or an elemental princess or something. She doesn't really have her own gem that she connects to, and then Scorpia just looks like a scorpion, so she's a little scary and all that, so people are afraid of her and whatnot. Doesn't really get accepted into meetings, so that's why she ended up going over to the Horde. So I like that it shows that even though the Horde isn't exactly good, they're training child soldiers out here, but there's still some good people who are within the Horde who perhaps are just there under bad circumstances. So, very nice. It does help in painting the Horde as, like, just not, like, super evil, even though they technically are, but again, there's just a good amount of people in there who are good, but here for the wrong reasons. With the news of Drill being taken over by the Horde, Bo and Glimmer decide that they're going to head on over to Drill to try to save Entrapta, albeit they are only taking each other, or as Bo is just kind of like, oh, are we not going to take anybody else, right? Just us? You know, like, let's get Adora, let's get the princesses, let's have a big fucking raid. But no, Glimmer says she does not want to lose anybody else because the last time they went on a big raid, well, they left behind a princess, so might as well just take the two of us, and, you know, if one of us is gone, it's just gonna feel even worse, but that's okay, you know? We cannot leave anybody else behind. Or as Glimmer says, I'm not going to be responsible for losing anyone else. Bo is right there. Okay, so next scene is back to Light Hope, where she was freaking out and she was talking about how her system's overloading. So she talks about the once allowed me to access my planetary mainframe. Oh, Jesus Christ, the planetary mainframe. Then Mara destroyed it when she lost control in Etheria, so she blasted that shit into bits. I have only been functioning at a fraction of my power, and now Light Hope has more of her power, I would presume, not the fact that Mara, like, didn't destroy everything else. Actually, I like that. I like that Light Hope is, like, imitating Adora with his wings. I get it. He's supposed to be, like, cowering. I don't know if I could go like 30 seconds back just to see. Yeah, he's supposed to be cowering, right? But like he's not like fully sitting down. It's just his upper half of his body hiding. But dude, when he does this is that fucking jack-o'-lantern pose. So Bo and Glimmer are now at drill because it's just that easy to get in. No surrounding perimeters of guards or anything. They just got in. I mean, she's able to teleport, so she can just probably get in, but like, Bo? I don't know how he got in here without security or whatnot, but we have Catra, you know, scratching her bum a little and contacting Kyle. Kyle is the one who has to look over Entrapta, very funny, but here, you know, Entrapta's having a little problem with the bot, but she's just yelling it out and all that, so Bo and Glimmer has a misconception that maybe she's getting tortured, and Catra pretty much picks up on that very quickly. So Glimmer is running to Bo, hoping to teleport, so she teleports, and then Catra grabs her, which then causes her to get teleported as well. Towards the end, when they finally get away, Glimmer was also touching Catra, but she managed to only teleport Bo, so like she does have control in the fact that she's able to control who's able to teleport. It's just that here in this point she wanted to teleport Bo, but she was probably just she probably wasn't controlling to the point where, like, you know, that Catra was there. And she eventually is able to block out Catra in the whole teleportation spiel. Catra got taken. Yeah, this scene is with Swiftwind and Adora, and it's just kind of that's what Swiftwind says. He's a little too excited for this whole thing, so he's just like, let's do a lot of fun things, let's do loopy loops, you know, let's say our favorite things, while Adora is just trying to solve this problem, but at the same time, you know, she should have tried to do what Light Hope said, but again, she still doesn't want to do that. Okay, so back to Bo and Glimmer and Catra in the back. We have Bo who's just like, oh, we took a hostage, we're supposed to be the good guys, we can't be taking hostages. Hostages are for bad guys only, except for the fact that we have prisons and we have prisoners and all that, you know? Yeah, you guys are at war, so like, she's a prisoner of war, technically, right? Still a hostage, but hey, you know, that's what Glimmer wanted. She wanted a hostage, so then she can go and get Entrapta back. So Glimmer had this bright idea to take Catra all the way to Bright Moon and get them to hand over Entrapta to her, but also, like, they're very far away, because Drill is far away from Bright Moon. They have to go through, like, the Whispering Woods and everything, and so they had to, like, drag her, essentially. I mean, they took out most of her rope, because, like, she was, like, tied like that. You know, her arms were tied, and then they took most of it out, and they only tied, like, they only tied her hands, which, again, all I'm saying is that's not good. And also, you know, they got a little whispering, talking about, like, you don't run out your magic and get us stuck here, especially with her. So Catra hears that, and of course, in the next scene we see, she's causing problems. Also, we have Bo being nice to Catra and, you know, talking about like, hey, what about you and Adora? Weren't you guys friends? Me and Glimmer, we've been friends since we were kids, you know? And so he's trying to be that whole like relatability that he did all the way back in like season 1 or season like it's a long time ago, all right? Back in episode 1 of season 1 or episode 2. Yeah, it was episode 1 of season 1, where, you know, he was being a little nice, and Adora is a little receptive, but here, with Catra, no, the only thing that she has in her mind is, oh, you're telling me about yourself? Okay, I'm gonna use that against you. While Adora kind of just absorbs it, and she doesn't really do anything about it. Instead, she has a bit more of an introspection as she thinks about, like, and then, you know, when she goes and have fun at, like, Thamor and all that. And also, during those times, Adora was much more naive, and she really thought that she was fighting for a good cause, and Catra already pretty much figured out that the Horde is the bad guy, and she's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna be a part of the bad guy. So yeah, so Adora was much more receptive because she was much more naive than Catra, but here's Catra, she's just very manipulative. Catra, after hearing that Glimmer would do just about anything for Bo, good shit, I'm gonna push you off the goddamn cliff, knowing that, you know, Glimmer is going to save them eventually. Although she did say, I'm ready to see if cats do land on their feet. And then Bo says, please don't do that, she is attached to me. To which, like, Glimmer was able to teleport just you. I thought that would have been so funny if Glimmer was able to do that, you know, if she had that precision control that she did towards the end of all of this, and just only teleport Bo, and just let Catra fall. I mean, she would have been fine, you know? She can't die here. Other than the fact that they literally should have just hog-tied her. Like literally tie her arms and her legs together, and preferably backwards. So, you know, she can't even maneuver with her arms in front of her. Just tie her up like that, and then just fucking drag her all the way to Bright Moon. Is it bad? Yeah, but like, who gives a shit? She's still alive. You guys might be the good guys and all that, but like, that's why there are vigilantes, you know? Because they're fucking tired of the good guy shit. But here are my suggestions on how to ethically torture Catra. Have you considered filing down her nails or claws, technically? What that tail do, am I right, you know? Tickling is considered a torture. We can always find if she's got ticklish feet, I'm just saying. Now I'm just overthinking about Catra having to get her nails filed. I mean, as cats, they technically do that on their own already, right? Just, like, scratching on stuff and all that. I mean, she's not a cat. She's a cat girl, but she's not a cat. Cats don't particularly like their paws being touched. Unless they really trust that person. But, you know, here in this case, Catra doesn't really have anybody she trusts here. So they fall into a river, which is coming to an end, aka the giant waterfall. Glimmer has to teleport them all out. God, Catra's just over here just smirking like, yeah, haha, you're wasting all your power on me now, huh? Catra's over here sitting up, and it's just like, oh, at least we're in one piece, but not the can't say the same for Entrapta. So just getting Glimmer angry to make her force her to use her power again. Yeah, so after getting her to waste her power, that's when she clicks on her GPS thing. And then we've got Scorpia, who's just so upset, you know, so sad that Catra is missing somewhere. She cares a lot for Catra and whatnot. You know, she's always like, oh, if somebody touches a hair on her or whatever, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Where'd you guys get this? Like, you guys had this before, and then you guys had where, like, you guys changed it to where it was only her around here. Like, you guys could have gone that extra bit, just, you know, put her around her mouth. Again, their worst problem is the fact that they tied her up, but, like, they didn't tie her feet up. Again, that's my only thing. They didn't tie her up proper. How did Adora take years of this? She asked once. And so Catra is trying to get into Glimmer's head, right? Where is she now? Off being She-Ra, get used to it. She's going to leave you like she did me. Somewhere around there, right? She's not going to leave you behind too. She didn't run away from the Horde. She ran away from you, which ticks Catra off. And I forgot to mention this last time, right? She hears that because, like, that's initially what Catra thought back in, like, episode 2. She thought that Adora has abandoned her, so that really touches on a sore spot, gets her angry. And then that's why she's just like, well, she's gonna abandon you too. You're not special. I'm not special to her, so like you can't be special to Adora. She's gonna ban you like she does me. Ooh, why yada? I'm so angry. I forgot to mention this in the last episode with Catra, where Catra is very much happy with her achievements. She got entrapped to hack the Black Garnet and cause this big problem, and she was really close to taking over Bright Moon, like the siege and all that. But in the end, it was all thwarted by the power of friendship, but mainly it was thwarted in Catra's eyes by Adora. And then with like the new technology that Entrapta did, and you know, they're all watching the TV and everything, and how Catra was the only person who wasn't really cheering like it's a WWE show or whatnot. And then with Adora looking at the camera and saying hi Catra, that got Catra very upset. And it's just so fun because, you know, when it comes to these two, they could have like the best day ever. They could achieve so many fucking things, both Catra and Adora, but the moment one of them do something to the other ruins their entire day. And in this case with Catra, she's making a lot of progress, right? While they are continuously sending bots over to Bright Moon in order to distract them, and they're taking over everything else, right? That should be a good achievement. But oh no, this new bot that they've made got outwitted by Adora? No. I gotta get out of here. I gotta go to the prison where they keep Shadow Weaver just to talk shit on her. Just to go and be like, yeah, Shadow Weaver, I'm gonna have fun watching you have to watch me become the second in command. You know, when I fucking take over, when I do all this achievement, you're gonna be here instead, rotting in the fucking cell. Get absolutely dunked on, Shadow Weaver. Yeah, really just have to come to Shadow Weaver just to talk shit. But even Shadow Weaver knows that the reason why Catra came over to her was because of Adora. And the last time we saw Shadow Weaver was, you know, with what I saw, with what I said there. But as Catra was walking away, we see Shadow Weaver, you know, giving a little wince out here, giving her a little glare as Catra walks away. So it makes me wonder if Shadow Weaver has some sort of plan. I mean, I would presume that she's going to have some sort of plan eventually to like get out of prison and whatnot and just you know, unleash a little power over Catra. Who knows? Maybe she'll just be in prison for the rest of her life. And I do find it very fun that like Catra goes to Shadow Weaver in the first place, other than the fact that she's just here to talk shit to Shadow Weaver, but perhaps it is just a weird sense of parental love. You know, like a love for a parent. Again, it goes back to the idea of like, even though Catra has this hatred for Shadow Weaver, she still was kind of looking for acknowledgement from her, right? Like what a kid would want from their mom. And so the same kind of goes for this, where even though Catra hates Shadow Weaver, she still goes to Shadow Weaver when Adora upsets her. And also, Shadow Weaver is kind of like the only connection that she has to Adora now. You know, now that Adora's out and about doing her She-Ra stuff and whatnot. So I thought that was a nice scene. I just forgot to mention it because my mind is just a complete fucking mess last episode. But yeah, in the big climax of all of this, in this episode, Bow and Glimmer finds out that Entrapta is working for the Horde, and she's happy where she is. She's on the side of science, and it just so happens that the side of science is on the Horde's side. Or the Horde is supporting her science, unlike the magical people who are magical and not science at all. And of course, when it comes to Entrapta, for her, it's like the passion over everything else, right? Developing all these robots, learning how to hack into the planet, literally. and all that, right? And then just continuously building more bots that are going to get sent out. And then even when she's like watching the entertainment network in the last episode, she was like making notes about like, oh, so that's not going to work against the princess. All right, I'm going to try to figure out how to improve on that. So then the bots would get a one-up over the princesses eventually, right? She kind of just sees that and she like detaches herself from the fact that she's a part of this. essentially, right? She's a part of this destruction that the Horde is causing. I mean, whatever else is it, right? These bots come in, they destroy the place, they blast everything apart, and I presume once they are able to build those new bots, they're gonna go and scour the first one tech. I would presume they're gonna tear down the first one techs, and that's just a whole bunch more destruction, but Entrapta is able to just detach herself from that, and all she thinks about is science. And, you know, when I was watching this part, I felt a little frustrated. I felt a little rage that was within my heart, because, again, with what I just said, it's just like, okay, like, you're like, oh, science, this is great, I get to do whatever I want, it's all fun. But you're also leaving a very large path of chaos and destruction behind you. And your only excuse is basically, I'm just doing this for science. You know, like, sure, you may have made the gun, but, like, you're supplying these guns to the Horde who are using them to blast people, right? Just because you made the weapon. Like, I just made the weapons, all right? I didn't use them. Other people use it. Now that I think about it, Entrapta now admits that she is on the side of the Horde, and that she's been the one who's improving all of the weapons of the Horde. That means that if you take her back, she's a prisoner of war. She has committed crimes. If we're, you know, like, she is responsible. I mean, those robots have caused problems to Bright Moon. We saw Bright Moon in the last episode. They're still healing. There's still, like, marks everywhere. And with the bots coming in to just, like, attacking them, but also, like, ripping some of the Whispering Woods apart and all that. That's a lot of damage, you know? And, like, Entrapta, if she fully admits that she's the one who made it, and she's a part of them. So, that's it. Case closed. We're putting her on trial for crimes. Put her on trial, I say. She's a war criminal. Actually, I don't even know if there are war crimes in this. You know, I don't know if they have, like, a Genova? Sorry, I was too busy thinking about Final Fantasy VII. The Genova Convention. Geneva, there you go. Yeah, so that's just Entrapta kind of being like, oh, yeah, I guess I am on the Horde's side. I wonder if that will make Entrapta just think a little bit, or she'll probably just be too busy thinking about her bots. But the way that she was talking in the last episode, again, when she is able to see the other princesses, despite what Catra says, right? The fact that, oh, you've been abandoned, although that did help her move over to the Horde a little easier. But again, I think Entrapta is still, like, because Entrapta was a little sad, thinking that she got abandoned by her friends. And that's why I still think that the power of friendship is gonna get Entrapta back in the end of all of this. Yeah, you have to play the long game. Science is great and all that, you know, but friendship is forever, am I right? Technically, science is forever. But what's the point of science if, like, people aren't happy about it, other than the bad people? I'm a little bit too busy thinking about the magical revolution for some reason. But, you know, our main character in that anime is like, science is here to make people happy. And I thought that's the whole point of science. But then again, science doesn't really matter. Like, science is neutral. Doesn't matter whether, in terms of science, we're able to create cell phones, internet that connects everybody in this planet to just be able to create guns and fucking nukes that is going to destroy us inevitably, right? Fallout is gonna happen inevitably. I suppose that's just the side of science, and again, I do still feel a little frustrated when it comes to that for Entrapta, but I think it's just the attitude, that ability of her to just detach herself from the situation and not really put herself in the fact that she is responsible for all of the whatever. Towards the end of kind of the final-ish scenes of Adora and Swiftwind, a lot of their scenes, it's really just there, you know. I really do feel like it's a little bit of filler in between. But the ending with her talking to Swiftwind and her talking about, like, I feel like I dragged you into this, you were just a normal horse, you could have lived great on, like, a pasture or something, which I'm just like, didn't you hear what Swiftwind talked about last time? This man is trying to fight for horse equality. He's trying to get horses out of the stables. I mean, pastures are different, but, like, eventually he would have gotten caught anyways. I mean, I thought he was somebody else's horse. He was just a random horse in Thamor. But eventually he probably would have gotten caught by somebody and then been put to a stable and then just become like every other horse. But, you know, she gave him his voice, she gave him his wings, she gave him his freedom. And he says, I do not want to go back to the way that I am. Wouldn't you say the same? And I like that Adora is just like, you know what, you're right. Right? She would not want to go back to the Horde now that she knows what she knows. And the same goes for Swiftwind, right? Now that he knows that horses can get equality out here, of course he's gonna fight for it. So Glimmer's out here teleporting, and then she grabs Bo, and then just only teleports him out. And then she only teleports Bo out. Maybe she just, like, ran out of magic, you know? She has been using her magic for a while, so, like, maybe she just ran out enough magic for, like, so she couldn't teleport Catra. I don't know. But in the end, boom, getting fucking absolutely smacked on. And then Scorpia's just gonna be like, no! Dude, did she get hit in the face with, like, the tip of her tail? Getting poisoned and dunked on, dude. They found the core. They did the whole She-Ra transformation stuff. She touches the core, and then he did a loop-de-loop while she was sitting on him, so that was nice, you know? So they they finished the watchtower, and so they got the connection back for Light Hope. Good for them, I suppose. And then we're here at the final scene, where they're going to tell Adora about Entrapta. Okay, again, we'll just have to see how they deal with this whole thing with Entrapta in the next episode. Since they are the good guys and all that, maybe they'll still continue to try get Entrapta back. Again, they really have to do a really good negotiation with her for her to actually want to come join them again. Which goes back to the power of friendship. Again, Catra's fucking scoffing about the power of friendship, but it's literally the reason why her siege was stopped. She could have taken over Brightmoon during all that time, but the power of friendship came in and fucked her over. You know what? Catra's over here scoffing at the power of friendship, but you know, the power of the gay is also pretty strong too in this show. I think there's two things she needs to look out for. But that's pretty much all I have for this episode. You know, I feel like it's a little bit less incoherent than last episode, but I don't know what's going on with these discussions right now. I feel like I'm just everywhere. Probably doesn't help that I'm not particularly editing these discussions and I'm not doing like timestamps on them, or at least accurate timestamps on them. So in my brain it's just like, all right, I'm just gonna say whatever's on my mind right now, and I don't really care if I don't really care if it's not like segmented or anything. But if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.